All right. Today's Factspiration question is, what dream or dreams have you held on to the longest? And this question is brought by the purveyor of sweet dreams, Morgantha. All right, so you could think about that. Does anybody want to do a recap for a point of DM inspiration? Yay, nay, anybody? Okay, Darius, going once, going twice. Darius, take it away.
Last time. Oh, oh this all hurts so much. Curse of Strahd. We're finishing up boarding the well that was fucked over by zombie parts. I think Reed and Izzy went over to the tavern. Reed wanted to go talk with Mirabelle about a couple of things. I think he had mentioned something about the Vistani and wanted to know more about them, so he went off with her. Off the table, he learned more about their lore, how they came to this land, their interaction with Strahd, and just more about the Vistani culture in general. Back at the well, we were finishing up. Ismark and Irina were making a sign to tell people to stay away from the well, which led into a conversation about pirates, and then led into a conversation about Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So that was interesting. Apparently, we're gonna have a movie night. Or we're more on that later. But with everyone done, we got our things and headed to the church for the evening service with Father Donovich, which was interesting because I'm not the most religious person. I've gone to church every once in a while, mainly because mom and pops kind of forced me to, but hearing about how the darkness came to this land, and then man and woman, and then a spark of hope, and then there was like the Morning Lord, and then did battle with the Knight. It sounded all like a fantasy world kind of thing, though to be honest, Christianity is also like that, but not going to get into that right now. When the sermon was done and we were kind of leaving, just telling the father that we'd be back to check on Jack and give him his final burial later. Unfortunately, we stayed a little too long, and we got to see the parade of souls, I guess you could call it, up close and personal. There was a lot of dead people. And not just humans, but things like dragon people and giant people and elves and dwarves from all that fantasy stuff that Mackenzie keeps telling me about, like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, there is a lot of dead people like getting up and just walking. According to Irina and Ismark, those souls, they come up each night. The fact that they do this each night is kind of crazy. And march all the way to the castle Ravenloft and throw themselves on it. I guess this is supposed to be some sort of punishment going up against Dark Lord, this boogeyman guy. But when we were just about to be leaving, Tiernan said that he heard something. Like someone got into a fight. So we tried to get back into the church to see what happened. Maybe the father had gotten hurt somehow. But when we opened the doors were locked, so we got Reed to open them, and we found a lot of blood that was leading downstairs. like the very curious idiots that we are, we decided to follow. And we found that Father Donovich is not so... Well, he is fatherly, but not for the flock of people that he's supposed to care for. This dude's been feeding the people of this village to his son, who is a vampire. That's a lot to unpack, but it's also a threat to the village. So with Ismark's permission, we decided to try and take it out. I say try because that fucker was tough, and he keeps healing from his wounds, and everything we kept throwing at him, he kept not taking it the whole way. He latched onto me like a fucking leech, and I blacked out for a hot second. I've been losing way too much blood. I tried to get away. They tried to gang up on him. He was able to escape. Father Donovich tried to, I guess, protect his son from us. I had to knock him out, but it may have been bad in the long run because his son Doru latched onto him and just sucked him dry. And I'm pretty sure that dude's dead. Now we're still trying to deal with this banged bastard. And I'm not looking.
Well done. Go ahead and take your point of DM inspiration.
We also just got another fanspo from Scottrick.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks, buddy.
Our boy!
All right. Then, does anybody want to answer this Factspiration question? It gives you a D6 Bardic Inspiration that lasts the entire session or until you use it. Just throw out a die if you're interested in such an opportunity. Going once. Going twice. Third time. And... oh, I see 2 dice. Oh, all right. Darius, go ahead and answer the question.
You want to re-roll that one?
Oh, yeah, here's the D6. He's like, I want to answer it, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like,
200% of your last result.
Yeah.
I played a game at the public library for a while, and there was one whole session where the DM had grabbed the wrong dice and he was rolling D20 rolls into the D12.
Beautiful.
Fucking cracked me up. At the end of the session, he's like, "Well, shit."
I had a D20 that was labeled as a D10. And, yeah. In my younger days, my more mischievous days, I would sometimes, if a friend forgot their dice, I had a loner set, and the D20 in there was the D20 that was labeled 1 to 10 twice. It was good times. Obviously, I would never do something like that nowadays. But you know. But you know how youth are. They're sociopaths. All right.
The damn youths.
Them youths.
Them youths.
Darius, what dream or dreams have you held on to the longest? Explain.
I think Darius has always had the dream of being like a mechanical engineer, but
Okay.
more for like gosh, I'm trying to think of like the specific industry that he would kind of be in. Jeez, I probably should have thought of that a little bit deeper. But I'll just mechanical engineer for people. Turn them all to cyborgs. But no, I think just I'll think of a specific industry later.
Sure.
Like he always wanted to kind of be like a mechanical engineer. However, he kind of took a dip in his studies when his brother died, because that fucked with his mental state quite a bit.
Absolutely.
So at the current moment, he or at least before we came to this place, he was taking night classes so he can kind of get himself back into form and stuff like that. But and then also working at his dad's car shop was kind of helping that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he still would like to be able to kind of work on like mechanics and stuff like that, but it's gonna be a little hard to do with only one hand.
Oh, don't worry. You get back to the real world. They got all sorts of great prosthetics they're working on. Though, yeah, prosthetic science still has a long way to go. I feel like it definitely does not get. Hey, wait a minute. Darius now, when he gets back, could go into mechanical engineering for prosthetics.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. You see, this trip to Barovia has helped you find your purpose.
Yep. Now I just have
just like they advertise on the website. Just like they advertise on the website.
Dr. Van Silly was a genius.
He's helping you work through your issues.
Yeah.
You may ask the same question of any NPC that you've met during the campaign.
Now I just have to work through my issue of living.
Yeah. But not living would solve a lot of your problems.
It kind of would.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's right. I gotta change out this art too, because somebody made an even cooler picture of Barovia, so we'll go ahead and use that one. But didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
To ask Doru if he still holds on to any of his previous dreams before everything happened to him.
Oh man, Doru would love to still be a hero. He would still love to be an adventurer and make a big difference in the world. And perhaps now that he's been freed of his family ties and obligations, he can go out into the world and start to make a big difference.
I can bet he will make a big difference.
Step one will be, I guess, recruiting some fellow adventurers, if you know what I mean.
Barovia is your oyster, young man. Barovia is your oyster.
Yeah, in this town. Yeah.
We can form an alliance,
All right. Well, let's hop into this
Darius fucking wakes up and Darius just standing there, like, shaking our hands. Like,
okay. So,
I was just thinking Darius wakes up and there's a business card and it's like, call me.
Yeah, you a big boy. If you make a good vampire, you make a better werewolf though. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, what now?
Well, we're in the basement and Doru's trying to leave. So.
Yes. Okay. That's right. We are on 2 different maps now. Oh my god. Okay. Stress. Okay. Head over to the church. Now, I mentioned that we can run maps. We can run dual maps, and that is fine. It is kind of a pain in the ass. It's one of the only things I think that Roll20 does a little bit better than Foundry is running multiple map encounters. So if you leave the basement map, your mini will stay there invisible so that we can keep you in the initiative tracker. We can only see the initiative tracker of the scene that we are currently in. So those of us who are in the secondary map will not be able to see the initiative tracker, which is kind of a pain in the ass. I think previously when I had to do something like this, we had like a piece of paper, like in real life piece of paper, and we're writing it down, or maybe it was like a Google document that we were sharing.
Yeah, we had a Google Doc. A couple times we had to do it in Skull.
Yeah. It's just a real boner situation. But we can definitely do it. What we could also do is just when you go to a new map, we essentially create a new encounter for that map. And so, when you enter that map, we roll you into initiative for that map, and then you can't really pass between. So people operating on one map, they have their own popcorn initiative, and then people on the secondary map have their own popcorn initiative. I think I'd like to try that out. Also, I want to talk to you guys about the minor actions, but we have only so much time to play, and so I don't really want to take up too much time with the minor actions. Suffice to say, there is a document added to this game called Minor Actions. These are being play tested. They are completely optional. I will be using them with monsters though, and NPCs. But essentially, if you have an unspent movement or bonus action, there are other things that you could do with those things besides not using them. You don't have to do it, and I will not tolerate anybody pressuring people into using it or making a big deal about people not using minor actions. Minor actions are completely optional, but I put them in there so that people who maybe don't move around a lot in combat have something to do with their movement, and people who never get to use bonus actions for anything might have something extra they could do on their turn. So that is the main reason that they are there. But we're not going to go into them in too much detail.
Fixing up bonus action economy, one of my biggest gripes with 5e. What?
Yeah. The longer I'm on the Pathfinder side of the fence, the more I'm finding. Oh, one thing I will mention is I have made the change to Fear status. We will be using Pathfinder 2 Fear instead of 5e Fear. What that means is it's explained in the thing. I don't think Fear is going to happen in this fight, but before we get into everything, this is something that is not optional. Currently, this is what Fear does in 5e. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. Terrible design. Everything about it's horrible. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. Completely inequitable to melee classes. So we're switching that out for the Pathfinder 2 Frightened status, which is you're gripped by fear and struggle to control your nerves. You get your normal action economy. You live your own fucking life. But you do have the Frightened condition, which is very bad. You take a status penalty equal to the value of the Frightened condition, which is normally equal to the proficiency bonus of the source of that fear. You take this penalty to all checks and DCs. DCs includes your armor class. So while you are feared, everything is lowered by a numerical amount. Literally everything you have. Your spell DCs, your attack rolls, your armor class, all that stuff. You are gripped by fear, blah, blah, blah. So unless specifically stated otherwise, at the end of each of your turns, the value of your frightened condition decreases by 1. If you're already frightened and you get frightened again, you take the higher of the two numbers. They do not stack. So if you had frightened 1 and then you got frightened again with a frightened 3, it wouldn't go up to frightened 4. It would just go up to frightened 3. And basically that is to that is basically to sort out like just how bad the frightened condition is. Now, if you are a spellcaster or a conquest paladin who depends on frightened status for crowd control, sorry, it's now just an incredibly powerful debuff instead. So
that makes my channel divinity for Andronicus so much better. Like,
I think so. We tried it yesterday with Ark's Conquest Paladin, and he loved it. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so much more useful than they can't move closer to you.
I was initially confused on how it reduced AC, but now that I think about it, AC doesn't actually just represent, your actual armor that you're wearing, but all other things that you kind of protect yourself with. So I guess that makes sense.
Pathfinder explains it the best that when you roll a die, you are trying to get a number that meets or exceeds a difficulty rating, right? So what is armor class? Armor class is a number that you are rolling dice to try and meet or exceed. Therefore, it is a difficulty. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so now that we got all that out of the way and I wasted all your time, let's go in and play this game. So, Basement of the Church. Here we go. And get the actual spooky music going. All right, right in the middle of the music where we left off. Excellent. Okay, we had just passed play to, let's see, Doru. So Doru has gone. Doru will pass to Reed.
Well, this will be the easiest turn I have because I'm suffering from shock, so I can't do anything.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
The good news is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Crash, it goes away now, right? Because it's short term. It says...
Yes.
Okay.
So I will remove that for you. All right.
Thank you.
Who do you pass
I will
to?
pass to Eric.
All right, Eric.
Alright, Air's trying to move over to Irenia. She's gonna ask, do you have any ranged weapons on you?
Who are you asking this of?
Irene.
Arena? Arena says, I have my crossbow, but it's my crossbow.
Shit. He's gonna run up and just. Oh god. He's gonna end his turn right there and pass to Irina.
Okay. Alright. Oof. Well, say goodbye to Irina. Irina is going to use her bonus action. She's going to cash it in for a minor action, and she's going to use Pass Through. For the rest of the turn, your allies do not count as difficult terrain. I thought that'd be pretty handy for Curse of Strahd. So, yeah. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 up to the top. So I will go move her to the other scene, hide her here. And then I guess she's going to chase him down? Jesus Christ. Alright, well, you had a good run, Irina. Alright, you hear her shout from up top, Doru! Don't go! We could find a way! We just need to lock you up so you can't hurt anyone! Alright. So that is the end of that round. It took her a move and a dash to reach Doru. And jumping between maps. My favorite part of virtual tabletop. She is going to pass to... she'll pass to Reed.
Okay, kind of shaking off the stupor he was in and, grabbing his throat. Realizing, oh, shit's still going on. 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, not much more you can do right now. Let's look at minor actions. Can I hear me if I shout out?
Yeah, sure, if you shout loud enough, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bolster her then as my bonus. Just give her a +1.
Let me see if she's within 30 feet of you. Technically, through the floorboards, she is within 30 feet of you. So yeah, all right.
Okay. So I'll do that, and then for my action, I will dodge, and I'll pass to Tiernan.
Okay.
All right. I am going to similarly minor action pass through.
Okay.
Nope. Can't even make it that far.
What do you got? A bunch of broken feet or something? Like?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I will dash.
Okay. Do you make it to the other map? It takes 5 feet of movement to head up to the next map.
That's as far as I can get right there.
I see. All right.
I will, I'll shout out the door towards Doru and say, Doru, help me! I have all this blood and I don't know what to do with it! And then I will pass to, let's get Darius's turn.
Okay. Out of the way, damn Darius. All right.
Darius does nothing because he's unconscious. Mackenzie, she's not the strongest person, but she's gonna do as best she can to hold Darius back so he's not clogging up the whole area. So I guess we'll move.
Give me an athletics check. I think she could. She should be able to pull him, but just out of curiosity. Oh hell yeah! All right. You get the mom lifting the car off the kid's strength, and you start to drag the hulking form of Darius through the mud of the basement floor away from the stairs, but try and clear a path. Just so that we stay in good habits, give me a d6 to see if you increase your threat. And you do. All right. Exciting. Okay. All right. Who do you pass to?
We'll pass to. I guess pass to Anna.
All right. Anna, to you.
Let's move to the next map.
All right. So you're gonna move forward and up. So that'll be 10 feet to get you up to the next map. I'll take you over there. All right, and then you have used 10 feet of movement, and you. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I have to go down to the list of players, and then I have to right-click on your name specifically, and then I have to pull to scene. Did that work?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. You hear her, Arena, shouting around the corner, and you hear Daru just sort of snarling.
So I've got 25 left.
All right, you see him south of you. He and Irina are scuffling in the doorway.
North of me, where the altar is.
Yes.
Did Father Donovich have any kind of water dispenser?
He had a decanter that he kept his remaining supply of holy water in for ceremonial stuff.
Is it over there?
You do not see it from here, but you do recall that the altar actually is hollow. Like it's like a storage thing in addition to being an altar. So there is like a cavity carved into it in the back so that he can store supplies.
She'll move that way.
Okay.
And I have 10 left. And then I'll dash.
All right. All right.
Pass to whoever I could pass to.
With your turn completed, you are now a part of this map, so you need to pass to either Irina or Doru.
Irina.
Okay. All right. So you pass Irina. She. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck she's gonna do, honestly. I guess she will try.
Let her go.
You'll yell to let him go?
Yep.
Damn. Alright. She says, but we can't let him go. What if he gets... What about the people of the village?
We can't stop him.
Alright, go ahead and give me a persuasion or intimidation. You could use charisma or wisdom for this. Okay. She hears the steady confidence in your voice. She looks so sad, but she takes a disengage and she moves back towards you. And then as a bonus action, she will use the help action on you using helpful. So the next thing that you do would be at advantage. And then she looks to Doru and says, Doru, please don't do this. You are a good boy, a good man. You can fight this? And then Doru is passed to, and he sneers, and he says, I am more than a man now. I am so much more than that. I remember your kindness, Irina. I'll remember it well. And you see Anna. He flees out of sight. All right. He will pass back down to the basement to Eric.
Eric will use his bonus action as a minor action for pass through.
Okay.
He will take the dash action 60 feet up the
Okay.
stairs.
1, 2, 3, 4 out of 12. All right. So I'll take you upstairs. and drag you over to the scene. Let's see. There we go. All right, I guess you would come up the stairs just in time to hear the whole like, "I remember your kindness, Arena." Yeah.
He'll probably meet right here with Irenia and just.
She turns to you and says, "He escaped. We could not stop him."
He'll immediately look down to the open door of the church and goes, "Fuck." And he will pass to Ismark.
Alright, so... A real talk question for you guys. Is anybody currently in danger of dying? Any ongoing effects that require saves?
Darius was stabilized last
Okay.
session, so the only person
Alright.
who's down.
Realistically, you
We can't get this
you
guy.
might be able to do a chase scene and catch him somewhere else in the village. Do you want to attempt that, or do you just want to let him go?
I unfortunately have to vote that we have to let him go.
Yeah, I don't
We've
think we
been
can
told
do it.
multiple times that night is dangerous, and it's going to be in the middle of the night trying to chase this dude.
Okay. Then if everyone is in agreement, we can go ahead and end combat.
I mean, I don't know how the AI script for Irene and Ismark is going to react to that.
Well,
but-
Ismark would want to chase him down. He would definitely want to chase him down, but
Yeah.
even Ismark knows that without your aid, like, he has no chance of soloing this guy.
Yeah.
He does not. He just doesn't have the supplies to do it. Like, he doesn't have the materials to do this. He kind of just hoped that the sheer numbers that you guys were bringing would be enough.
Yeah.
To be honest. All right, then we will go ahead and end combat. All right, so everyone can freely move about. Do you guys want me to just drag everybody upstairs? Would that be easiest?
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
likely.
Okay. All right. I'll just take everybody and bring them upstairs.
Yeah. I imagine Mackenzie's asking Ismark and Tyrion to help her with Darius, because he's fucking huge.
Right.
Reed can help support the head.
The most important part of Voltron, absolutely. All right. So you guys all rejoin each other upstairs. Anna, you could finish your action of checking the altar.
Yeah, let's try to get it open.
The cabinet is there, and it is not even locked, because who would rob a church? When you open it up, there are a number of things inside. There is a red potion labeled healing. There is the ornate decanter full of holy water. You would probably want to transfer that into a flask or something if you plan to take it with you. It would count as a single flask of holy water. And then there is a healer's kit with 7 charges left. And then there is approximately 15 gold worth of ceremonial reagents, such as incense and, things like that.
She starts
Incense, oils, that sort of thing.
She starts lobbing items to Irenia.
Okay. Arenia says, well, I suppose we should take it because he's dead now.
Does Anna know anything about vampires?
So you would roll a history check, but it wouldn't be meta knowledge. It would be actual Barovian knowledge. So yeah, you can do a history check to recall knowledge. Let's see. Anna, you know that vampires don't like garlic. They don't like direct sunlight. Note the word direct there. And they don't like garlic. They don't like holy water. And that is all. That's all you would know with the check that you got. Yep.
The wooden stake, a common knowledge thing.
Apparently in Barovia, it is not common knowledge enough for her to know that. Yeah, they don't do a very good job of killing vampires here. They do a very good job of trying to stay out of vampires' way.
Fair enough.
If you would
Reed's
like
go-
to see what happens to vampire hunters, every night there's a parade that marches through town. Yeah.
Just saying
Reed's
Van
gonna ask.
Van Helsing was real? You just see him walk across the lawn.
What's really weird is because it's a multiverse, he's actually walking right next to Wolverine. Yeah,
Oh
it's fucking crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
Reed's gonna ask Irina, is there any danger of Mary coming back?
But yes, there is. We will need to burn the body.
Oh, okay. And I guess Reed will look to the stronger men to carry the woman's body back upstairs.
Here you go. Here's a dead Mad Mary for you.
I'll limp my way over there.
Here, we'll just put all your bodies in a pile. There you go.
Yeah. I guess we take them out back and I guess burn them.
Eastmark is fuming. He is just kind of like pacing the entrance to the church and in front of the church, kind of cursing quietly under his breath, hands just like rubbing his temples. He seems like he's on the verge of either entering a barbarian rage or just crying.
The plan was stupid to begin with.
What was that?
No, Eric is saying that the plan was stupid to begin with,
Well,
and we shouldn't have went down there.
well, the good news is we at least stopped the father's murders. I mean, that's something. The kidnapping will stop.
It doesn't matter when we unleash a vampire onto a crowd of people within town.
Hey, glass half empty, glass half full.
Well, I'm sorry. Which one of us is missing a hand and is currently unconscious?
I'm
Who's
sorry.
half
Look at
dead
my
right
throat.
Oh,
this
I
does
can
not help
clearly
right now.
The throat is anyone training in medicine. Reed's neck wound is showing signs of necrosis. All of the skin around the bite area is
Well, it's just a scratch.
yeah,
not
sorry.
great.
Yeah, you got the slash. Sorry, Darius, who was fed upon. That would be necrotic, where you can see like the veins around it are all black and dying, and like there's a smell coming from the wound already. It's really bad.
Yeah, Reed's just making more of his injury than it is.
Okay, well you convinced me. I was like, shit, I didn't think Reed got hurt that bad last week. Fuck. All right.
Gosh, now I'm gonna have people
I
to
dump
make-
the bodies and then I go over to look at Darius.
Okay.
The point I am making on that is that we shouldn't have went down there without a solid idea of what was facing, or even a plan on how to approach the subject.
So
Everyone
just let the
rushed
woman
in.
die.
Honestly, yes. We're evilly unprepared for what to do, as well as what we can encounter so far.
What are you prepared to do, Eric?
I am prepared.
You stayed up here while everyone else was down there risking their life. Maybe if you had come down with this magic that you kept a secret from everyone, we could have finally defeated him. But no, you were up here, and you were, being scared?
I was being thoughtful for a moment, considering our options, weighing things how they are. Because last I checked, when we went down to a basement, we lost 2 people, and he ended up missing a hand, and the other one ended up crippled. No offense.
If we'd
to you,
have
man.
known that there was going to be a vampire down there, we would have prepared better. But in the moment, the only thing we heard was people screaming.
And look where that got us. We should have came in when Donovich was not here. And look what that got
I don't
him.
think he's ever not here.
Regardless, What's done is done.
Eric, see if there's anything else useful here while we attend to Darius, please.
Have you been healer's kit healed yet, Darius?
I have not.
Okay, I'll healer's kit heal you.
So
How many hit die do we have?
Izzy looks thoughtful, and Eric, as you kind of finish your spiel, she says, it's real easy for you to tell us what a stupid thing we did when we were the ones rushing in there to try and save someone's life, and you were yet again selfishly only looking out for yourself. Real classy, that.
At least you didn't add, even Freed went.
I like to play smart. Unlike the rest of you who like to play like your actual heroes. This is not a game. This is real life.
You're one of those guys that you see news of a tragedy going down. You think, if I'd have been there, it'd have gone this way. But then when you're actually in the shit, when you're actually there, you just freeze.
Eric's going to glare at Tiernan and then just shake his head, hands in the air. Let's just burn the fucking bodies right now.
We do need to assemble more supplies for this sort of thing if this is going to be what it's like here. You're 100% right on that front. I'm just not okay with walking away from hearing people dying.
Izzy says, all right, well, what we know is there's a vampire. The vampire's on the loose.
Right, which let's pause for a second. There's a fucking vampire. What the fuck is this place?
Listen, I'm gonna rank vampire, son of priest, hidden in basement. I'm gonna actually rank that lower on the fucked up-o-meter than flesh monster made out of dead baby.
I mean, fair, but still.
And we've already gotten through flesh monster made of dead baby, so I feel like at this point, vampire is much easier to understand and handle.
I feel like flesh monster made of dead baby is... There's not really much it could do. There's not really very far it could go. He could be anywhere.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a movie or read a book about a flesh monster baby? Not really. But we've got lots of stuff to go off of for vampires.
In The Witcher, there was a flesh monster baby, but he was kind of good. I don't know.
Mm.
What happened?
Mackenzie says, "Be careful. It got away. The kid, the vampire, the whatever it is, it got away. No one else died, well, except the priest."
Shit.
Yeah, you missed the great lecture we got from Eric about what idiots we were for trying to save a person in danger.
Did it have something to do with us not being prepared for whatever the fuck was down there?
So here's my thinking. To be able to prepare for something, we have to know what's there, right? So I think what Eric is trying to say is that he's volunteering to be our scout from now on, so that he can know what we're getting into, right? So that we can adequately prepare. That's what I heard anyway.
I mean, he's not wrong in the sense that whatever we threw
That we
at
need
him
to stock up. Yeah.
didn't do
Yeah.
shit. I mean, I guess the fire I threw into his face, but everything else, he was just bouncing that crap off like Superman.
Maybe there's some tome. That's what they call it when it's large and dusty, right? Maybe there's some tome around here that can help us understand strengths and weaknesses of the various fauna, and maybe that'll let us know what to stock up on to increase our chances in any future encounters of this kind.
I think Darius is gonna attempt to stand up and then just immediately fall down like a baby fawn from the amount of blood loss and max HP this dude doesn't have.
Oh god.
So, Eastmark, as you place your hand on his shoulder, Reed, he kind of like flinches away for a moment, like still kind of on guard and in the moments of combat. And he turns back to you, and he sees you there, and he nods. And he looks out into the dark night, and then he turns and walks back into the room, and he says, "There are many injured here. If any of you are willing to help me dispose of the bodies, then it is appreciated. But I understand that you need rest. Your inn is not far from here, just south down the road. Be careful as you journey there, and try to get some rest. It is important that you understand that with a vampire on the loose, it cannot go uninvited into a home. The common area of the inn is welcome to all, but your rooms, they are yours. Be careful who you invite in. In the morning...
Do we need to worry about Darius? Is he gonna... I don't know how becoming a vampire works, but is he gonna turn, change?
If we had holy water, we could treat the wounds to ensure there was no chance of him catching the vampirism. But...
Do we know that somebody found a little bit of holy water on Donovich?
I mean, Anna did. Yeah.
There was a flask that I believe I probably tossed to Irene at some point.
Yeah. Irene says, well, these plus the one, this would be... We don't have any more, and there's no way to make any more. We'd have to either travel to Valakai, or we'd need to confront Bildrath and see if he is hoarding any that we could purchase from him.
Don't worry for
Can't
me
we
right
just-
now. Just save what we
Couldn't-
have for Doru.
Couldn't we just bless water?
Irene
This
turns
is
and looks at you and
probably a
says,
little
are you a cleric? Are you a priest?
No, and never mind.
Do you have such powers?
Nope.
She just shakes her head and turns away from you.
I think we should use it on Darius, but
We should
what
use it.
good's one vial going to do against the whole vampire? But we could prevent a second vampire by using that one vial.
I agree with Tiernan. And besides, maybe we can get more at this, well, I hate to bring it up again, but the Abbey.
Irene gives
Far
you
away.
a look of, you really are my best friend in the whole world when you say that. And she approaches,
Wait,
and
you would rather walk halfway across the whole valley to this abbey in this other town than talk to this one merchant that might
well,
be.
no, but I'd like to see it though. You know, I mean, if we're going traveling anyways, listen, let's just focus on the.
If we ever decide to go to Velocity,
Tiernan, focus. This is medical time. Focus. All right, so she explains to you how to treat a victim of a vampire bite. It is only an issue if they are dropped. If you drop to 0 from the bite, there is a and I'm talking very, very small chance that you would contract vampirism. If you were killed by having all of your max HP drained, then you would 100% rise as a vampire. And you would not be a playable vampire. You would become a vampire spawn under the control of the vampire who made you. So it would be a full character death with no coming back. As it is, it would take the whole flask to treat the wound, and then he has to drink some of it and all of that. But that would remove any chance when you take a long rest, Darius, of me rolling and you starting to become a vampire. I mean, meta. I mean,
Well, okay. So you said that if I drop to 0 from the vampire bite, that's it. I become a vampire spawn under the control of the vampire that bit me.
If your max HP is dropped to 0.
Right.
If your max HP is dropped to 0. Yeah.
Now,
if you contract it like secondhand, like an STD, then it is something that you would have to learn to control and hope that it did not consume you. And it would lock in your transformation for the campaign. You would be ineligible for anything else, any other rad shit that might happen. Because we ain't stacking, vampire werewolf.
I can't be a vampire werewolf aberration.
Yeah, no, sorry. I love the underworld movies as much as the next person, maybe more so. But yeah, no, there won't be any vampire werewolves.
I think Darius would kind of just hold up a hand and be like, "If you do this, we only got one other vial to use." Sure.
Eastmark says all it takes is one vial to finish a vampire off. We just needed to get him down on the ground, dying, and then we pour the holy water on them, and that's it. He cannot come back.
All right.
The holy water halts his regeneration, but only for a few moments. That is why it is used to finish them off.
What about fire? That seemed to work earlier.
It is possible to douse the body with oil and flame, but some vampires are strong enough that they heal through the fire. And then you have a flaming vampire on your hands.
Reed just kind of chuckles to himself at the entendre of that.
Culturally, he has no idea that
he has no idea.
He's made a funny, yeah. Like to him, he's picturing fighting a flaming vampire, and he's like, "God damn, that's scary." As he's thinking about it, yeah. Matthew says, "What about like?" And he picks up a piece of wood, stab him with the wood, through the heart. And Eastmark looks at Irenia, and Irenia looks at Eastmark, and they will roll history checks. And they both shake their head like, "What are you talking about?" And Matthew looks around like for any kind of support.
No, he's right. In our world, anyway, there's legends, myths that if you stab a vampire through the heart with a stake, that they're paralyzed or something.
Eastmark and Irenia both look thoughtful. Like,
You mentioned before they don't like running water. What if you throw the body in a river?
Eastmark says, if you hold the body down in the running river, it will eventually be destroyed. But you must be very strong to hold a vampire that long. And from what I understand, the more powerful vampires have the ability to turn into mist, or bats, or some other form and escape. Some have magics that they can use. Running water is the least reliable means of hurting a vampire. But it does work. And Irenia says, and as far as I know, you cannot just pour water over their heads. Like, they don't get killed in the rain. It has to be like a running body of water, like there's some kind of magic from the earth or something. The two of them kind of look quiet, and then Eastmark lets out a sigh, and he says, I will be honest, I don't know nearly as much about this as I would like. We have dealt with many horrors in this town, and then the only vampire that we ever really need to worry about is the Dark Lord and his brides. Though, very rarely do they come to the village of Barovia. And when they do, they take what they want. Or who they want. And we
How
do
many?
nothing.
Sorry.
Oh, he's done.
How many brides does he have?
The two of them look at each other, and then Irenia says, I don't know. I know that he has many, and some of them are boys. Which I guess they wouldn't be called brides, but it's just easier that way, because spouses just doesn't have the same ring to it, you know? But, basically every, like, I don't know, like, every, 10 years or so, like, the Dark Lord just gets, like, he just finds someone he thinks is really, like, that he really likes, and he courts them, and sometimes they get married. He's had many brides throughout history.
And one has never been killed.
Oh, I think that they have been killed, yes.
Okay.
Eastmark says, the one you must watch out for more than any others is Anastasia. Anastasia is more monstrous than any creature you could imagine. She is both beautiful and deadly, and she views the living as toys, as food, as playthings. She occasionally will come to this village, look for someone, take home with her. They are never seen again. Even my father turns a blind eye when this happens. For to stand against her is to challenge the Dark Lord himself.
Well,
And Matthew murmurs under his breath, well, that's fucked up.
agreed. And Reed will start picking up some wood for a fire.
Ismark, Irenia, Donovich knew his son was a vampire, right? Maybe he'd collected lore or something. We should look around, I think. See if there's anything useful.
That's a really good idea. And then Eastmark says, before you do, treat his wound. This
Yes.
man I would never want as an enemy. Especially not the vampire.
Yeah, that's fair.
We cannot risk it.
I'm flattered.
Should Aerith search the pockets of Donovich?
There is no
Just-
flattery at all, Darius. You are an incredible warrior.
Not good enough, it seems.
Alright, so Eric, you head over to Father Donovich?
Yeah, search
Okay.
his pockets real quick for anything.
Okay. Let's see. Father Donovich, what do you have on you, my sweet boy? Let's see. Ooh. He has what looks like a really weird tarot card in his pocket. That's unusual.
Oh, okay.
It seems to depict, let me see which one he has. It is the card of the Evoker. It depicts what looks like a witch performing some sort of ritual or spell casting before a small ornate cauldron. There is a pentacle in the top right and bottom right corner, and there's a number 6 in the top left and the bottom right corners. Also in his pockets is a small, I guess he wouldn't really have, his robes could have pockets. You know what? Let's give this guy one good thing in his life. He had pockets in his robes. There is a small pouch, and inside is an assortment of nuts and dried fruit.
Oh, that's useful.
And he is wearing his shoddy sort of backup holy symbol. So this would count as a spell casting foci for a divine caster of the Morning Lord, but it only has like a street value of like 5 gold. But you could add a holy symbol worth 5 gold to your character sheets. Or I can add it if you are unable to grab it out of the quick insert.
But yeah, because this is like his off-brand one, right?
Yeah, you guys have his. Yeah.
Darius has the gold one in his pocket,
Mhm.
which I should actually add to my sheet.
This could fetch a good value. Eric will keep it.
Okay. All right, and if you want to add that Taroka card to your inventory, you can. It's up to you.
Sure.
Yeah, I could post it in the chat too if you'd like. Where are all my Taroka cards? That is another thing that Roll20 does better still, is cards.
The card bank.
Yeah. So sad. Alright. I know people have been working on it, but I'm trying to remember where the hell the Taroka cards are. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. Okay. Taroka deck. Evoker. There we go. So that was the card that was in his pocket for whatever reason.
Huh.
Okay. Do you pocket it so like nobody sees, or do you kind of show like do you like would people see you drawing that card out of his belongings?
Yeah, he's not hiding it.
Oh, okay. Upon seeing it, Ismark scowls and says, why would the father have a Vistani Taroka card on him? It doesn't make any sense. And Arrhenius says, well, why would he only have one card? That means that the deck it came from is missing one.
Would
Is
he have
there
gone
a-
to see this Madame Ava?
Arrhenius snaps her fingers a couple times and points at you, Reed, and says, Reed, you're a genius. Maybe he did because he was looking for a cure for Doru.
I'll return the gesture. Be like, that makes sense.
But why would he have the card? They would not part with such things. They are sacred.
It's not as if Father Donovich has really shown himself as a honest man.
Yes, but to steal something sacred to the Vistani for what? For laughs? To be cruel?
Maybe he thought it had power.
He was desperate.
Perhaps. When his magic failed, and the Morning Lord turned his eyes away from him, perhaps he started to seek power elsewhere. Who knows how bad this could have gotten if it went on.
Just desperate.
Irenia says, I want to point out that he was not, that Doru was not chained up downstairs, and he was not even tied up. That means
Said-
that he could have left any time he wanted.
Donovich said something about using his powers to keep him there. I don't know if maybe that failed when Donovich died.
Oh. She leans into you, Tiernan, and she says, I was trying to make everyone feel better, like maybe it wasn't our fault that Doros escaped, but
Not the ones that killed Donovich.
yeah, I guess. Eastmark says, it is what it is. We know there's a vampire on the loose. We can be vigilant. We can try and figure out what to do about it tomorrow. For now, we must burn these two bodies. We must get rest. And we must be safe.
I think we should warn the townspeople as well.
We will not warn them in the middle of the night. It will only cause a panic.
In the morning.
All right, so he goes to start collecting the bodies and take them outside.
I'll follow with a stack of wood.
Okay.
Aird's trying to sit down on this bench over here, and he'll make the first and only attempt for today to treat his wound.
Okay.
For his festering wound.
All right. Let's see. Someone can tend the wound and make a DC 15 Wisdom Medicine check once every 24 hours to get 10 successes. Oh my goodness. All right, here, I'll make you a festering wound so that you can have a fun mini game on your character sheet.
I'm so jealous.
Don't worry, there's plenty where that came from. Let's see.
That's the right thing happened.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah, that looks like a festering wound. That sounds good. All right. And then, let's see, this is a ability check, a skill check, a medicine check. And the DC for this check is 15, and you need 10 of them. And it's got a cooldown of 24 hours. And safe. All right. So you should be able to click on Festering Wound, and then if you succeed, you'll progress your recovery.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Oh shit.
There you go. All right. So you have 9 days from now, you might not have this horrible Festering Wound. That's good. Okay. What does it cause in the meantime while it's there?
Your hit
Only
points
good
maximum
Get
is
nothing.
reduced by 10 every 24 hours.
Oh.
So
Like
starting...
10.
No. Reduced by 1. It's
Oh.
reduced by 1
Oh,
every 24
reduced by
hours.
1.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
like,
I was
it's
like,
you could
well,
be-
you're
It's a hell of a wound.
You could be dead in 2 days.
Oh man, but you are kind of racing the clock there if you have any other things taxed on your hit points. Oh man, because by the 10th day you're gonna be down 9 hit
Yeah,
points.
it's not great.
Yeah.
it's not great.
Wow. Okay. Does anyone else have a festering wound? Nobody?
Thankfully,
Anybody?
no.
Thankfully,
Okay.
it's not in
Broken
my
legs,
deck of
torn
things.
muscles, and
Okay.
broken rib.
Okay. Well, I think a broken rib is much better than festering wound.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. We're putting everything in perspective now. All right. Irenia says, I will be helping my brother. Please be safe getting back to your to the inn.
I'm gonna look around and see if I can find any like useful monster lore. And
Okay.
around the church.
Yeah. So feel free to sort of investigate the church. Anna, what are you up to while this is going on?
Probably making sure that Darius is able to orient, then make sure Eric is not hurting himself doing what he's doing, just
Mhm.
trying to assist in small ways.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Tiernan, you are tired beyond all belief. Even with people assisting you, you just don't have it in the tank to find anything of use tonight.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
No, I mean seriously.
Oh,
Yeah. Like you start to do it and you basically just fall over from fatigue. Like you just can't go any further. Izzy rushes to you and then she kind of like helps you up and she says, Enough. We've done enough. Done enough. Let's go.
It's Darius will stand up with Anna and McKenna help, but severely.
Matthew heads outside to go help Eastmark, Reed, and Irenia. Unless, Eric, you want him to stay with you. Up to you.
No, he's with people who can keep him safe.
Okay.
Eric's just gonna sit down and just contemplate, and probably collect some wood in the
Okay.
meantime
Sure.
to take with him so he can make steaks just in case.
All right. Then I will take everybody to. I guess let's take everybody to the main map.
Let's grab the rest of the stuff out of the altar before we go.
Yeah, I thought you and Irene kind of grabbed everything, but yeah. But yeah, so if you tossed her the holy water and then the holy water was used on Darius, so that's gone. I don't know if you tossed her the healing potion or if you kept it. If you tossed it to her, I'll put it on her sheet. Otherwise, you put it on your sheet.
She can have it.
Okay.
And it will keep the healing kit unless that was.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, that was what 7 uses were left on that healing kit. And then there was 15 gold worth of just put, I guess, incense.
Oh, got it.
All right. All right. I'll clear you guys off of this map and move you back to the landing page. All right. So let me see if there's in the encounter in the 10 whole minutes that you have to walk to the. All right, you're good. You make it to the
look, a
tavern.
vampire encounter with Dark.
So I was checking for that.
He comes back. He brought some friends.
or zombies or rats. There's a lot of things that you could run into. All right, so you make it back to the tavern. Do you go through the common room or do you just go up the side stairs to your room?
I would say shorter distance.
After Ismark said that the tab, like that the entrance room would be open to anybody, I think that was mean that Dara could get in there. He just couldn't get into the private rooms. I'll go through that just to make sure that there's not like a giant blood puddle where he's eating everyone or something.
Okay. As you test the door, because let's see, you guys went there. It's not too late at night. I think I advanced the clock a little too far. There are people there in the common room, and they do kind of look at all of you as they quietly kind of drink and sip and all of that. But there's not a ton of people in here because it is after dark. So she's not here. The 3 sisters are probably back there chilling. Maybe Mirabelle's actually helping out behind the bar as far as like inventorying, just the quiet things you do when you work at a restaurant / hospitality industry and there's just nothing going on. Radu's probably still drinking in the corner, feeling sorry for himself. And there might be a couple of villagers that are just by the fire, nursing some watered down wine, just kind of chilling on this cold night. All right, so as you come in, those villagers are going to look up, and they look at you intently because you guys are looking rough. Let's see, and Reed, you and Matthew would not be here right now. Okay. Yep. So Mirabelle walks up to the bar, looks at all of you, and says, "What have you been up to?"
Does it count as patricide? No, just kidding.
Praying.
We went to the church. Hung back a little while after everyone else left. I guess there's no point in waiting, right? We have some rather bad news.
Do you?
Have you heard of all the people that have been going missing?
Yes.
Tiernan, not now.
Yeah.
The sooner they know, the sooner they
gonna-
can be prepared.
You're gonna create a panic, and right now we are not equipped to deal with that.
Mirabelle hears you guys like whispering to each other.
Inside. I'll.
Well, of course, you stay inside after dark. Yes.
I'll let you know exactly what happened in the morning.
All right. You know, for people who claim that they are not adventurers, you certainly get up to a lot of adventures.
I mean, I go to the bathroom once or twice a day too. I don't call myself a bathroom goer.
She laughs at that, and she says, I don't think that holds up quite as well as you think. I think it's already happening to you." And she raises both her eyebrows. It's always the same. And as she says that, Eric, who says very little, says, "Always the same. Always. The outsiders always share the same fate."
That's uplifting.
And Mirabelle says, "Well, not heroes, not adventurers. Do you require any food or drink before heading up to bed?"
Some water would be nice.
Eric says, "Good. We need to get rid of this well water." And he reaches out of the bar and he pulls out a bucket and he starts ladling some water into a cup for you.
On second thought, never mind.
You don't like water anymore? I understand it has bad taste. Always safest to drink wine.
Then
I
some-
always drink alcohol, never water.
Then some wine will be preferable.
Okay. You see Mirabelle look wistfully at the wine. There's a note of worry on her face. And she says, "Pour me some as well, Eric. We may as well enjoy it while we still have it."
Running out of wine too?
Well, the trade roads have been closed for months. No one is bringing any more wine. And the vineyard is west of us, quite a distance. We depend on the wine to come from the vineyards through Valakai, along with other trade. You've heard this, have you not?
Yes, I wasn't aware that the vineyard was so far away.
Unfortunately, yes. It is a shame because the family that owns the vineyard, the Martikovs, they are What is the word for people who are very giving, even though they don't have to be? Autistic. No. Altruistic. Altruistic. Yes, this is the word that is used. The family is has well means, but they don't try to profit off the wine. They sell it for a pittance. And the requirements for us is to never overcharge. They say that wine is the blood of Barovia, and it is one of the few joys that the people can have, in even the darkest times. I think that they are right. I may reach out to my contacts amongst the Sarpu Vistani and see if any can perhaps sell some more wine to me before they break camp. See if perhaps anyone is willing to help us, but we are exile, so it is not a reliable option. But it is worth swallowing my pride. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. Just the wine then, or
Just a wine. I don't feel like eating.
Alright. Nobody needs any food or drink. She kind of busies herself, taking care of things. Her two sisters spend just a lot of time just playing dice and just chilling. They seem kind of like, I don't know. It's like they just spend all day sort of listening and idling. Definitely feels like Mirabelle kind of is the one in charge, essentially. All right. Cutting back to the church graveyard, Eastmark, let's see, Eastmark, Reed, Matthew, and Irenia, you guys neatly pile the bodies. Well, there's only two, but I guess it's still a pile. And surround them with wood. Eastmark takes oil, pours it upon the wood and the bodies, and you guys light them on fire, and you wait until they are burned down to just charred bones. The whole process takes about an hour, and at that point, the shadows are clinging and cloying to everything. The moon overhead, while it is still rather fat, it is kind of concealed by dense clouds that threaten rain. During this time, Eastmark and Irenia say nothing, nor does Matthew. I don't know how that makes Reed feel to be around three people that are saying absolutely nothing.
I mean, it's, a captive audience at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Reed will try to fill the silence because he doesn't like awkward silences.
Okay.
So, pretty hell of a day, huh?
All three of them stop what they're doing and just look at you. Their eyes, two dots, their mouth a line. And Eastmark says, yeah, yes it was. I just am trying to make things better for this town, but it feels like nothing is going to work.
But don't you see what you've already done? The zombie plague, we've stopped the source of it at least. If not outright fixed the well, we've at least stopped it from getting worse. And you've stopped the kidnappings. I mean, yes, there were some unforeseen complications, but you at least stopped a murderer.
You're right. I need to take what victories we have, and those are those are two very big things. I am just feeling tremendous sorrow for the loss of Father Donovich, not just of his life, but of his soul. And I am worried about what this will do to the community.
It is a loss, and I think they will probably take it hard. You'll have to frame it perhaps more delicately. Maybe it's best that people don't know that he was a killer. I mean, I know it seems dishonest, but I don't think knowing that their holy man was a fraud will bring them much solace.
And Arenia says, now this is another good idea, Reed. You have so many good ideas. We will say that the vampire, Doru, he showed up and he killed all the people, and then he killed his own father. And that we stumbled upon it, and then we tried to fight him, but he escaped. And then everyone needs to be on the alert. And then they still feel that Father Donovich was good man, and then their faith in the Morning Lord is not diminished. This is good. This is really good. Also, because if you have good faith, and you have holy symbol, sometimes that will scare away vampire.
Maybe even just the thought of it will be enough. I'm sorry we could not do more. My companions are very injured.
No, you've done more than you needed to. I was selfish to even allow you to help us, knowing the severity of your wounds, and that is why I will not ask you and yours to travel with me.
Where are you going?
I am planning to go to Valakai. I will leave in 3 days' time. I'm going to brave the roads, and I'm going to figure out why all of this is happening. I am going to find answers in Valakai, and I am going to come back with the means to fix this village and to stop Doru.
Ismark, there's safety in numbers.
I have already taken too much from you and your friends.
But what about the people of this town? They need you as at least a sign of hope.
And I will bring them hope when I return.
Don't make any rash decisions. I'd like to speak to you more on this if you'll allow me later.
He nods, and then you guys finish burning the bodies.
In the meantime, it's getting late. Perhaps, and Reed will kind of whatever sign of the Morning Lord he witnessed at the church, he'll kind of repeat that over the graves as a sign of respect and honor the Morning Lord. And once they're done, he's like, Matthew, we should escort them back at least as far as the tavern and get going ourselves.
Okay. So everybody heads back to the tavern. I'll put you guys up in your rooms.
I'm gonna make a stop upstairs.
Oh, okay.
If Eric would come with me, that would be helpful.
Oh, like the common room upstairs, like over here?
No, like the stairs that go up to the next floor?
Oh, okay. Oh, like to the 3rd floor. This is a very tall building. Okay.
Can I go to the 3rd floor?
Do you not want to go to the 3rd floor, Eric?
No, I didn't know how to go to the 3rd floor.
Oh, okay. I could just take you guys there real quick. Let's see.
We're just gonna drop something off.
Oh. Alright. Okay, let's see. I'll activate the 3rd floor. I guess I'll put a camera back there for everyone else. Camera bats. Oh, is this for all people or just for you? We need all. We need all vision. There we go. All right. Okay, so you come up to the 3rd floor, and
she will call out for Morgantha.
Okay, yeah. you hear a voice from this room, and it says, is someone there?
It's Anna. I've come to bring you what you are owed.
Oh, dear. How lovely. Let me put on something decent then, before I don't want you to see me in my night clothes. Alright. Less than a minute passes. And then, yes.
I have the money that you asked for. And
Oh,
the 12 gold pieces.
you brilliant girl, you brilliant girl.
I apologize I didn't bring it before sunset. We had other things to attend to.
Truly. What was so pressing, if I might ask?
There was a problem at the church.
Oh, that is the worst kind of problem. A crisis of faith.
Yes.
But I think you sorted it out, didn't you?
You could say that.
Of course you did, you brilliant, talented girl. Oh, you truly are exceptional. So you were able to sort out that business while also selling the pastries.
Yes, Azalea helped me.
Ah, it's the girl, the seer. Yes. Interesting. I would not have thought her interested in commerce. You must have swayed her with your silver tongue.
Every salesperson needs a good assistant.
Yes, indeed. Well then, whatever extra you were able to make, you may keep.
Thank you.
Right. And so you make the exchange?
Absolutely.
All right. She takes the coins. And not that she doesn't trust you, but she does. You can tell that she does a quick count. And then she pockets them. And says, "Well, I'm actually getting ready to leave tomorrow. I think I must head back home and check on the bakery. Thanks to your help, I was able to take care of so many people here. I hope they all have sweet dreams tonight."
One last thing before we go, Morgantha. Do you know anything about helping wounds heal?
Oh, I know a bit of medicine.
She looks at Eric.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
You can turn it down.
Oh, Eric. Oh, you're Matthew's uncle. Poor Matthew. Poor Matthew.
Right. He is doing fine.
Is he though? He cries out in his sleep, you know. He is afraid of you.
I know why.
How interesting that is. Well, out with it, boy. Where is this injury that vexes you so?
How did I think he will open up his shirt a bit to reveal the festering wound on his chest.
Okay, okay.
Because the injury was caused technically by his own ability, not really
Oh, right.
yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like,
Oh, this is a magic wound. Hmm. There is very little I could do for you regarding this. I did not know you had magic. It
I
is
wouldn't.
so rare these days.
I don't think it's truly magic.
Hmm.
It awakened. This ability awakened during a escapade in a unsettling house.
I see. Yes. Outsiders will often find there's potential that they were wasting beyond the mists. Here in Barovia, the land itself demands. If you do not show enough, it will claim you.
Hopefully, me and my companions do, so that we may leave this environment.
Yes. Yes. There is a lot of potential there. Hmm. I am sorry that I cannot help you, but I am but a simple baker. I know a bit of medicine, but no true magic. I have a few trinkets here and there.
That is
But,
perfectly fine.
but
Don't worry yourself.
no, I feel terrible. Perhaps I I don't need that much sleep. I'll try to work on something and have it ready for you in the morning.
Thank
You
you,
could
Madame.
apply it to the wound, and it might speed your recovery. Wouldn't that be nice, Eric?
Certainly.
That's good. Well, I will get to work then. And hopefully still have some time to sleep with my long road ahead of me. I may be gone before you wake. I will leave the ointments with Eric down below.
Thank you,
Thank you
Magnifier.
very much.
Certainly.
Eric is just sweating. Now that we're done here, Anna?
Eric, one last thing.
Yes?
And she takes a bony, crooked finger and she does the come closer gesture.
He leans in
Okay. She puts
cautiously.
she puts her face right against your ear. You can feel her hot breath on your cheek. And she says, Matthew will be the death of you. And then you feel a soft pat from her hand on your cheek, and she pulls away. Good night.
Eric stands there a bit frozen. Shakes his head.
Let's go, Eric.
Okay. However, there is something I want to talk to you about before we head downstairs.
Oh,
what do you remember?
About?
Now, OOC. The only people who saw Deanna die was me and someone else,
I
correct?
think
It was someone
Matthew.
else.
Matthew, Eric, and Jack.
Yeah.
So, and since then, we're still the only ones who knew she died then and there, right?
You're the only ones. You are the only ones that are confident beyond any shadow of a doubt that she died. By now, I think many people have a lot of suspicions that things are not okay with Anna.
I think it was told to us that something happened to her. You guys are the three that actually witnessed it.
Yeah.
So we got secondhand accounts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm referring to what transpired in the Durst's house.
Anna will tell Eric what she remembers when she came to. Like, it's all out there. Whatever she can recall, she'll just lay it out for him.
Okay. What is it? Just Anna's perspective, or is it the lingering memories of Diana? Like,
She would probably withhold the Dana stuff.
the Dana stuff. Sorry, yeah, because Dana, right? Okay, so basically, Eric, the account is, she came to, you guys were there, and she's been with you guys ever since, trying to unravel the mystery of Durst Manor and leaving the house behind and hoping to reconnect with her family, but seeing that things are different and trying her best to understand what's happening in the world.
There will be a slip in that she refers to Jack as her father, and she also refers to Walter as her son.
See, that part I remember because you mentioned it before during the house, so I wanted to make sure.
This is very much a 16-year-old girl, though.
Yeah.
Body of 16-year-old girl, mind of much older.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how old Anna is. I have no idea.
In life, Anna was in her early 20s.
Okay, I think that's not.
Yeah.
So you know that you died, right?
I have a second chance. It took some time to adjust, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. So many new things to experience again.
But the body...
It's mine. Don't be afraid, Eric. When you're with me, you're probably at your safest.
You know, when people say stuff like that, that makes them more suspicious. Just saying.
She shrugs.
Nonetheless, if we do get out, people will look for the D and
Get out?
Yeah. Back to our world, you know.
We'll see.
Cruel. You're not gonna take someone else's body if they die, would you?
You hear someone coming up the stairs, drunkenly.
So
What are you two doing up here?
Just leaving. And Hannah heads downstairs.
Yeah. If you're going to be making kisses, do it somewhere else. I'm tired.
What? No.
so you guys all head downstairs. Okay. Do you guys?
Oh, it's the wrong one.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
shit! It's all right. I'll take you guys to the
I think the south.
back to the
I
floor.
think the south
All
one
right.
was.
All right. So you guys settle in for the night. Does anybody need to do anything else before you get a long rest?
I'll
Question
just
mark?
thank Matthew for his help at the graveyard.
I'd like to roll
yeah.
to set my bones.
Set your bones. Okay.
I guess you can get assistance from Mackenzie.
All right.
All right, or not.
Oh, too bad this isn't Pathfinder 2. You could have re-broken it worse. Oh my god.
Excellent. Okay.
Them bones is pretty broke.
No
Well-
such luck there.
Oh, could Mackenzie have been assisting him with the medicine checks, or is it self?
Let's see. Each bone needs to be set with a DC medicine check. It is a skill check, so as long as someone else is trained, they can assist.
All right, Mackenzie is trained.
But remember, each such attempt requires 5 charges of a healer's kit and 1 hour of time. So did you have 10 uses of a healer's kit?
No, only 5, so I can only do one of them.
All right. So within 8, the two of you are unable to treat the injury properly.
Mackenzie has 7 charges on her,
All right. You guys could try again.
and I think Anna just picked up a healer's kit.
I'm sending it to Tiernan as we speak.
Okay. All right. Okay. So which bone are you trying for?
One of my ankles.
Okay. With Mackenzie's help, you burn 5 more charges, and you do set and splint and bandage the ankle.
Are you taking those 5 from yours, or do you want me to take them from mine?
I can take them from Mackenzie.
Okay.
Probably the best place to track these more intricate details is on your character sheet. There should be like a biography section or even a journal section. Might be a good place to go in and sort of just say, currently splinted or currently bandaged, broken right foot. Now you can start working on healing that, all that jazz.
Here's my 20d6.
All right, this is 20d6 for your right foot, we're saying?
Sure.
It needs 59 points of dedicated healing. All right, I'll go ahead and make you a special heal my right foot mini game.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, how many charges do we have left now?
6 over here, because I completely used up the 5 on my one, and there were 7 on this from when it got sent over to me. But then I forgot to remove the one from Darius earlier, so I took that one off. So I've got 6 left, and I think you have 2 for Mackenzie's.
Yeah. Mackenzie, yeah, from 7 to 2.
All right, your completion target is 56, and there's no actual check required. So we'll just do a fixed value, and there you go. All right, so every time you click the little button next to right foot, it'll fill up, and then once you fill that all the way up, your bone is healed.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna healing surge.
There you go. All right, so applying all of the healing from your healing surge to your foot. Okay.
I'm gonna second wind heal my foot.
Okay.
He really.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah, man. All right, so I guess just click it 22 times. There you go. You can feel the healing. It's almost like magic. It's basically Resident Evil healing, where you just take the bottle of antiseptic and you pour it on your stump, and then you're like, it's healed.
I have a handy.
Yeah.
Reed's gonna use a healing surge as well to just deal with his throat.
Okay.
Can I request another 5 set of charges for Darius's arm to be set.
Okay.
Off of Tiernan stuff.
All right, are you guys willing to do that? Tag team, Mackenzie, Tiernan, try to set Darius's bones.
Yeah.
All right, this is for your broken arm, right? Okay.
We've only got enough to set one more bone, but.
All right. So Darius's broken arm? Question mark.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, okay. I will make you a fun minigame. Give me a 20 d6s.
39% of the way.
Maybe it's
So
a nice
healing
clean.
now.
Oh, okay. It's not a nice clean break. That's a bad one.
Of course, I had to roll high.
That's a bad one. Okay.
Wait, you're supposed to roll low?
Yeah, that-
Rolling low on this is
on
good.
20
because-
on the 20 d6, that's how many how much dedicated healing the set bone is going to take to heal properly. So he's got to spend 75 healing just on the arm, but then the bone will be healed. Obviously, this is well outside of how you would heal IRL. The amount set kind of goes off the idea that you would be resting and recovering naturally.
It
But
looks
here,
like-
in Dungeons and Dragons land, with your healing surges, you guys are sort of doing the whole Blood of Heroes thing, action hero style, where you're still getting fucked up all the time, but you're bouncing back way faster than you would in, like, the real world, essentially.
Looks like for healing surge after the first one, I can choose to roll more hit die.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna roll a second one too,
Okay.
because we get them all back after a long rest unit.
Correct. Oh yeah, when you do a healing surge, keep in mind you can only do that once per short rest, and then you have to choose when you do it how many hit dice you're going to use, because you won't be able to do it again until you get a short rest. All right.
All right, I am 55% of the way through healing my right foot.
I am also going to.
All right, hold on. I got it set up for you. Kacha, broken arm. All right. Does anybody else need any sort of downtime? We're getting ready to go to sleep and rest stuff.
Is this nice enough accommodations where we can roll to heal 2 wounds instead of 1?
Let's see. I mean, it's certainly as nice as you're gonna get. But yeah, it would count. It would count as a good enough accommodations.
Okay, awesome.
I did have a question. I have the combat maneuver Catch Your Breath, which also gives me healing. Want to add that into the pile, or is that a little too much?
How often can you use the combat maneuver until you run out of points for it?
Until I run out of points, and then I get them back on a short rest, or if I spend a minute in a hit die.
Holy shit, that's a lot of healing. I mean, it only benefits you, right?
Yeah, it benefits me.
Yeah. I mean, you gave up what could have been other very powerful maneuvers. So if that's what you want to use it for, you just heal really fucking fast.
Another 11 points to the tracker. And then Mackenzie's just gonna give you an extra charge from her healer's kit, so she just has 1 on her to Tiernan. Because you can use your healing ability. She's just gonna have 1 on her just in case she needs to stabilize someone.
Alright, I have 2, and then you have 1.
Yeah.
Remind me, once they're gone, right?
What do you mean once they're gone?
The healers.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
think. I mean, like, you just have to like buy a new one.
I mean,
Yeah,
buy
okay.
a new one.
Crash
or
said
I-
maybe with like tailoring later we could
Make
repair,
one,
so to
yeah.
speak.
Yeah, you can.
Wait.
Yeah, you can refill them using skills, and currency, or you could just buy new ones.
Is
But
it
yeah,
cheaper
like
to refill a healer's kit that's empty than it is to just.
it
buy
honestly mechanically just comes out to be the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But Eric,
But they're certainly much more pricey than what they're normally listed in the DM's guide, or sorry, in the player's guide, because they are, of course, actually important in this campaign. What was the question, Eric?
Oh no, that was just a question whether or not
Oh,
we
okay.
could, get it back. But
Yeah, I mean, you could keep an empty healer's kit on you just so that you can kind of refill it or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna go to sleep.
Okay. Everybody settles in for the night. All right.
Before we do though, he's gonna go up, close the door, lock it, then go back.
I think there's one little small scene between Darius and Mackenzie prior to going to sleep. Because the boy's lost so much blood within the past 48 hours. He's a little bit delirious. I think he'll just kind of like murmur something along the lines of, I wonder if what Dante would do in this situation.
Oh, I did get the message thing. Okay. So you're wondering what Dante would do?
Yeah, if he was in this shitty situation, like how he would try and figure this whole stuff out.
All right.
But at this point, it sounds like the ramblings of a madman.
Yeah. I will progress things to tomorrow morning. All right. So 6 a.m. good for everybody?
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. You wake up Monday morning. Everyone rouses and gets ready to start their day. Has anyone tried to continue the practice of bathing every day, or are you guys just turning into stinky Barovians?
Oh, Reed will definitely bathe every day.
Okay. So
And for I
I
guess
think
we would be
Newton
tracking.
probably would too, just for like sanitary purposes,
Yeah,
Mhm.
medicalness.
Yeah, sure. It's definitely a very very good facility for keeping yourself clean. Essentially, they have 2 rain barrels in there that you could use to take cold baths in little tiny wooden wash tubs. There is a box just full of powdered soap that it kind of burns your skin a little bit because that's what lye does. But it certainly sanitizes. As everybody's getting up and getting going, Matthew seems to be sleeping in.
I'll try to wake him, just to be like,
Okay.
"Hey, it's time to get going. If you want to take a bath."
Okay. He is kind of curled up, fetal position, asleep. His face turned away from you. As you go to kind of touch him, his body feels very stiff.
I'll try to shake him awake.
Did Matthew
Okay.
eat one of the things?
No, the one I took the cupcake from him.
You give him a shake. His body just kind of rocks back and forth a little bit.
Eric, there's something wrong with Matthew.
He'll rush over, shake him.
He doesn't respond.
Hey, come on. What's wrong?
Again, he's just kind of curled up in the fetal position, his face kind of buried in his pillows.
I turn his face, open up the eyelids.
All right, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
What? Okay.
All right. You gain 2 stress. So I can drag him on for you, or you could drag him. As you turn him to face you, his dead eyes stare up at you, his face contorted in absolute terror. He is dead.
No. Come on.
Mackenzie, can
Come
you
on.
come over here?
He's going to pull Matthew into an embrace. Be like, hey, don't do this. Come on, man. It's a new day. Wake up. Please.
His body is cold and stiff in your arms, and just sort of awkwardly ragdolls as you plead with him, clutch him to you, and sort of rock back and forth. It is apparent to everyone in the room what has happened here.
There's...
Well, it's apparent that he's dead. I guess it wouldn't be apparent what happened, but what is happening?
Darius will look to Mackenzie to go check on him.
Yeah, she looks horrified as she approaches, and she says, Eric, let me set him down. Set him down so we can see what's wrong.
He's going to immediately put him down next to Mackenzie. He's going to stand up.
Oh God, his face. Oh God, I've never seen someone look that scared before. Oh God. Tiernan, can you help me over here?
Yeah. I'll join her. Verify that. Quick glance, like, yeah, no, he's fucking dead. And then I'll just turn to Mackenzie and whisper, like, so are we doing an autopsy? What's the plan?
We need everybody to leave the room, please. We need about an hour. We're gonna figure out what happened.
Can Eric do he's a smart boy. Did he do insight intelligence check?
Okay. Insight intelligence check to do what?
To recall the... Well, no, it wouldn't even be intelligence. Because he knows Morgantha just before had mentioned something about Matthew.
Yeah.
And that he did mention a few other things prior.
I mean, you don't need to do a check for that. You were there, buddy. Like.
Oh, in that case, then
yeah.
Forget the check. He's grabbing his knife. He's running to the 3rd floor.
Oh, okay. All right. You pound up the stairs to the 3rd floor. I guess we'll move everything up to the 3rd floor real quick. Except I think that you sneaky kids moved up to the 4th floor. So let me grab you and bring you back down. Yeah. All right. Does anybody follow Eric as he pulls his knife and starts running up the stairs?
Gotta do that autopsy. I'm busy.
Okay, hold on a second. Before all this happens, I have a whole laundry list of things to kind of go through Darius, so I wanted to knock that out first before we started charging.
I'm sorry. This is what's happening. I don't know why you guys can't just rest. This is ridiculous. All right. Well then, I guess
Anna will follow Eric.
Okay. I'll drag an Anna onto the scene then, or Anna, if you want to drag an Anna onto the scene, that works too. Sure. All right. So you follow him up the stairs. He races upstairs. Boom, 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 boom. And?
I'm immediately banging on it.
Okay. You bang. You smash the door open. You bang the door open. What do you do?
Oh, I'm banging on it.
Okay. Yeah. You. There's no reply.
He said she was going to leave.
He's going to try and charge into it, breaking it down.
Ooh, give me an athletics check. Oh, all right. You smash your shoulder against the door. It holds. Everything here is made out of like, wood. You can kind of see through the slats almost, between floors and stuff. You guys hear this commotion upstairs. Darius comes up the stairs as well.
Oh, I got
Oh,
it.
is that the stairs? That doesn't feel like it matches up at all. Oh wait,
Yeah,
this
I was-
building is
I
like
was looking
this
at the-
building is that weird like Escher sort of like reverse staircase building. That
Yeah,
makes
it's
sense.
wonky.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Also
looking at. I was
stairs?
also.
Oh,
I was
good.
looking at the 3D thing, and like, yeah, this looks like it was downstairs, and this looks like it was
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, like there are actually teleporters that you guys can use, but because not everybody could figure out how to use them, I generally just bring a
Stack.
cameraman. Yeah, bring a cameraman over or hero stack or whatever. So. All right, you come upstairs, Darius, and Eric has just smashed his shoulder against the door. Anna is standing nearby.
What's going on?
The door to the south opens, and Radu Radovich says, "That is what I would like to know."
Closes the door and holds it.
All right, you hear him banging on it. Hey, be quiet, huh? I
Whatever
told
you're
you if
gonna
you
do, do
wanted
it
to be,
fast.
you wanted to be smooching, you go to your room.
Darius, help.
You know who I work for? I work for Aragorn.
Quiet, you baby.
We'll talk with you later. Shut up. What's going on, Eric?
Just help me bring out the door.
All right. Guess I'll.
All right, give me an athletics check to force the door. 11's not enough.
Yeah, he's still recovering.
Do any of you have these tools on you right now?
Reed does.
Reed, you should have some.
Eric's
Reed.
immediately. He's running downstairs immediately.
Okay. As you run downstairs, you see coming from upstairs is Alenka, one of the three sisters. And she says, "What is all this noise?"
The woman named Morgantha. She was here last night.
Hmm.
Did she leave this morning? How
I
early?
don't know. I just woke up.
We need the door open.
You want me to open another guest room for you?
It's important. Please.
All right, give me a persuasion.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. -3, boys.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Look at that natty 2015. Damn. Alright. She says, I don't like you very much at all. But alright. There. Looks empty to me. What are you looking for? She had mentioned that she was leaving today. Perhaps she just got an early start.
How long?
I don't know. I just woke up.
Yeah.
The sun is still rising.
Could he check out the room?
Yeah, sure. You with an intensity of a Nat 2015 have this woman curious. Like, she's up to kind of police drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. So you look in the room. Let's see. And it seems like a pretty basic bitch rundown like hostel room. There's there's a little dresser, a little nightstand, and a bed. That's it. The room smells of cupcakes and meat pies.
Could he investigate to see if he spots anything out of ordinary?
Yeah, give me an investigation. All right, you look around the room, and it seems to be turned down and cleaned up, as if whoever was here took all the things that they had and left. What is the issue? What has happened? Did she steal something from you? Did she take something?
I assume so. She's gonna push past her.
Yo, Eric, slow down. What's going on?
Remember that old lady we met?
Yeah, the one selling pastries and shit.
The creepy one?
Yeah.
Said to keep it down! Alenka rushes up and says, "You keep it down, you shut your fat fucking mouth!" And she slams the door in his face.
Poor Radu.
Damn. I feel bad for the guy. She kept bringing up Matthew's name every time we'd conversate. She kept saying that he was screaming and whatnot, even though we all stayed in the same room and we all didn't hear it. And she told me last night that he would be the death of me. And considering what we've been dealing with so far.
So wait, you think she did like some weird voodoo shit and killed Matthew?
Maybe? I don't know. Possibly? Yes. Who knows?
Well, sounds like she ain't here, and she may have left a long time ago. Let's at least go see what Tiernan and Kenzie have found. Or we go charging off after her.
Eric's gonna stay behind for a moment. She mentioned an ointment, right?
He did.
Did he see that at all?
Not in the room. I think she said she was going to leave it with Eric.
All right,
You're Eric. You're Eric, but Eric also works here.
The names
That's
are confusing.
Eric.
That's
not
why
Eric.
you
Eric.
chose a pretty basic bitch name there. I'm just.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Wait till you meet Erica. It's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah.
Girls can be named Eric too.
You what?
Yeah. The
You're
party's
actually
downstairs.
gonna have to change your name to Eric 02 because there was already an Eric in the game when you made your character. So.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding. You guys have different spelling. It's allowed. All right. So you're gonna head back downstairs.
Yes.
Alenka's going to go with you because now she's very curious about what is going on. All right. So
We're
let's
gonna
see.
get fined for having a dead body in the room.
All right. So everybody's using the teleporters. We're like fucking pros now at Foundry. Dom would be so proud of us. All right.
Anna would try to stall her.
Oh, okay. As you guys are coming downstairs, she says, What's this wrong?
I think Morgantha may have done something to one of our numbers. She will kind of look at the others to hopefully.
Did
take
she
care
sell?
of business.
Oh, she sold you pastries? You should stay away from that shit. It's bad for you.
Why?
It's incredibly addictive. It's some kind of narcotic.
And she
I
will-
filed a complaint with the burgomaster before, but he claims that she is not breaking any laws.
I see. She will try to drag this out as long as possible.
Okay, so yeah, so she talks to you about, she's apparently very civic-minded, and she starts telling you about all the things that are wrong with the town, and how she would make things better if she was in charge, and so on and so forth, yeah. This is the lady that, at a local government meeting, you do not want this woman to take the podium during the public comment period. She has a lot of strong ideas, and honestly, they're pretty good. One of which is forcing Bildrath to sell all of his available stock at fair market value instead of being able to set his own prices.
Fuck that. Nationalize it.
So, Tiernan, you and Izzy, in order to perform this autopsy, you are going to need some time. to do it. It's not something that just happens. So yeah, like, or sorry, Tiernan, you and Mackenzie are gonna need time to do this.
Yeah.
But everyone seems to like
Use
people
Izzy as our-
always do. They want to know why you're not already done with that autopsy that you were doing.
We're gonna use Izzy as our comic relief, right? So she's gonna be in there, and we're gonna be like, Izzy, hand us the scalpel, and then she's gonna look at us, and then sitcom laughter is gonna play.
Oh, jeez. Hashtag problematic. All right. So, yeah, you guys are going to spend time trying to figure out the cause of death there. All right. What do you guys do while you're waiting? Do you just nervously pace outside the room? Do some of you stand in there to watch? Like, what's the deal?
Darius will heal the
We
fuck
would
up.
politely yet firmly not let you stay in the watch.
All right. So
There's
Darius,
two of me.
you sit in the common room, like healing up. Okay, and then
laundry list. What do I have to do for the disease? Then for the wounds. Then for everything.
okay.
else.
All right. Let's take it by the numbers. So last night while you were sleeping, go ahead and give me for the disease. You don't need to worry about vampirism because they treated it with the holy water.
Okay.
Okay. God, how many diseases are you carrying, buddy?
You said 2, so I guess vampire is 1, and the one I've been dealing with
okay.
is 1.
So give me a Constitution save for the other disease.
Okay. Blind GM.
Yep.
Then.
Take DM inspiration for actually remembering that. Things have gotten worse. You feel very sick. Your Constitution score has gone down by 2.
Oh, great. Alright.
You feel like COVID sick. Like you just feel like your lungs aren't pumping hard enough, like your heart is beating slower, like your bones are sore, even the non-broken ones. You just feel run down and ragged. You know instinctively that you are very sick and that it is only getting worse.
Have to ask Tiernan. See you later about that. On to the next one. Let's see.
Just out of curiosity, have you adjusted any sort of timeline in this campaign to have to deal with how long it's going to take us to recover?
Well, that's the cool thing about Curse of Strahd is there are timers in the game, but they are player triggered timers.
Okay.
So they don't
For
start.
example, releasing a vampire into an
That is a timer. Yes.
And-
So nothing major happens until you guys show up. Essentially.
We also have a missing girl who
Yeah.
how long
So
she's gonna be gone.
lore wise, I'm trying to get this across to you by them describing like outsiders cause trouble, outsiders get caught up in events, outsiders bring great change to the region, blah blah blah. Yeah, so essentially the world is pretty stale, but you guys cause things to happen.
The more things happen to us, the more worried I am that we're gonna have to spend 3/4 of our time in game like resting up.
Now, what we can do mechanically is if you guys end a session able to just take a long rest, or if you end a session with the intention of just taking downtime, of literally saying, I don't give a shit about anybody else's problems, we are going to focus on downtime, then in between sessions, that's the kind of stuff we could take care of on Discord. That way you aren't spending like every session just like playing Doctor Simulator. You know what I mean?
I don't even mind doing it in session. I just didn't want it to have like you miss out on this. This person dies off screen because you guys were resting at the game.
Once you start a timer of an event, the event will play out. So
right.
yeah.
But I feel like in those the way
But
that, the way that
I
you
can't
described it,
tell
it'll
you
be
when they happen,
somewhat-
but like I don't have like it's not like for example Red Hand of Doom that has a strict calendar that says this is going to happen starting now, the end. And then everything that happens in the campaign, the players are reacting to that timer. For you guys, it's very regional. So when you first arrive in an area, things start to go into motion. But I don't have a calendar tracking events all over the world.
We can probably do a sort of thing where we arrive in an area, we do a bunch of shit there, we finish that shit, we recuperate from all the shit that we did, and then we move on.
That would be a good way to handle it. Yes, take
Okay.
downtime between regions, essentially, rather than adventure arcs. You're like, okay, we've done everything we can here. Period. We're gonna stop. I don't know how often you're gonna get that luxury, but when you feel like you have it, you might want to take it. But keep in mind, if you settle down too long, adventure will come find you.
Alright, so
Right.
wounds.
Okay.
One goes away automatically on long rest, and then you have to make a con save to possibly get rid of a second one.
Yes.
Would that be before or after you've lost con from your team?
I imagine it's probably after.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. You recover 1 wound on a successful long rest, which you had. After completing a long rest with modest accommodation, a character may roll a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. If successful, you recover a second wound that you have.
All right, Darius.
But this would count as your long rest activity, which, again, long rest activity is a thing that you could do during a long rest, like do 2 crafting checks, or play a game against somebody, or try to research things, shit like that.
Well, I think last night was just resting. So I'm gonna spend the DM inspiration I just got to get advantage on this con save. Okay. That's a second wound gone. All right. That's all I was able to do. All right, now the fucking hit point maximum thing. What goes on there?
All right, so as you are working on this, Reed has stepped away, and he returns with Irenia. And Irenia has her healer's kit, and she says, "Okay, I'm here. I heard that Reed said that that Tiernan and Mackenzie were preoccupied. Do you need some help, Darius?"
It'd be appreciated.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I thought this was best.
All right. So what's next on your to-do list, Darius?
I mean, I have to get rid of all wounds before I can get rid of injuries, so I think that's it for the wounds for right now. I think
Correct. And keep in mind that a broken bone is an injury, and that you could heal the broken bone up, but you would still be penalized from it as long as you have wounds, because it would still be like it'd be at the cusp of healing up, but it's still kind of lingering there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I have no idea what else we're gonna get into today, so I'm not gonna spend my stuff just yet. So right now, I think the last thing is just whatever these max AP.
Yeah, I was really tempted to just immediately spend it to try to get rid of that ankle, but yeah, I'm gonna save mine too.
Arena's going to spend 10 minutes looking over Darius and kind of checking out his disease situation while you guys are in there doing your autopsy. So, Tiernan, give me an intelligence medicine blind.
Oh boy.
Yep.
This would be assistance with Mackenzie.
Yep. I will consider this to be with advantage.
Did you get it?
I got it. All right, you spend a good hour checking him over for wounds, puncture marks, checking his eyes, looking for bruising, doing all of the things that Mackenzie was taught how to do to see what the cause of death is. And your takeaway is that he died of fear.
So like stopped heart.
Yeah, like a heart attack. Yep.
And this kid is
Okay.
like
So,
High school?
what, McKinsey? What do we
This
tell
guy,
him?
this guy is
rabbit?
this guy was a high school athlete and incredible. He's not strong, but he is fast and quick and healthy.
And died
Dude's
of a
got
heart
dude's
attack.
got a 12. Yeah, dude's got a 12 constitution.
Oh.
Like that's above average.
We just tell him that his nephew died like a rabbit from being scared too much.
Oh, I assume that question was posed to Mackenzie.
Yeah.
I mean, Mackenzie says, I mean, look at his face and look at the symptoms.
I know, it's just...
I mean, it is what it is. Unless there's some kind of poison and he ate it and it caused it to happen unnaturally. I don't have like a lab. I can't analyze his blood for toxins or anything.
Yeah, I know. Dude, how... I mean, we could check the stomach. I don't know if we want to go that far here, but
Are they doing this with the door open?
probably not.
No, I don't think so.
And then, did Matthew have this room by himself, or were there people in here?
I mean, we're all sleeping
mean-
in that room, but he had that bed to himself.
Morgana, she said that he was screaming out at night, but there were other people in this room. Is this some weird metaphysical screaming out?
I mean, she says the odds of none of us hearing him scream with night terrors. I mean, everyone's been having bad dreams, I assume, because of the things that we've seen in PTSD and shock and all of that. But I mean, I've been woken up a couple of times by people, crying out, but it wasn't something so loud that you could hear it on a different floor of the inn. I just don't think there's any way that in the same room with him, all of these people, none of them would have heard him crying out. That doesn't make sense.
Have you ever heard of a human dying of fright before? I mean,
I mean, in the movies, and I mean, yeah, I mean, people do die of fright. That's actually a thing that does happen.
But a healthy young man like this, I don't know.
So essentially, you get so scared that your body produces too much adrenaline and just short circuits your whole system. It happens.
I understand that it happens, but just here in his bed with other people around, his nightmares caused him so much fear that they killed him. His brain killed itself effectively. Just
Or this completely healthy 19-year-old former high school athlete had a heart attack. Which maybe he had, like, I don't know, something weird, like Wolf Parkinson's or something that, like, he just didn't know about and just kicked in. But honestly, yesterday, we fought a vampire, Tiernan. So, I kind of think that maybe dying of fear is the thing that happens a lot here. Here, help me clean everything up.
yeah.
So out in the common room, Irenia says, "Oh, this isn't good, Darius. You have the rot. You must have had a wound get infected or something. You have so many. I don't know where it started. Maybe there's a lot here, and she kind of touches around your stump of your arm, and it's like hot fire under the skin. And she says, "And there's more here," and she kind of touches around your rib cage, and she says, "But basically, the disease is eating you from the inside out. You'll, at first, nothing, but then you'll start to feel weak. Tomorrow, it will get worse. You'll feel sick and tired. And the day after that, you'll feel the worst you've ever had in your whole life, I think. If you're able to pull through, your body is always going to be changed by this. It's going to be weak. It's going to be more vulnerable to future illness and disease. The rot is rotting you away from the inside. We can try to treat this aggressively, but it will require you to stay in bed. You have to give it everything you have to just try and rest and recover. You keep pushing yourself like this, you kill yourself. We don't want anyone dying on us, you know? What did I say? Why is everyone...
No, you're quite right. Sorry, go ahead.
Eric, why don't you and I go downstairs and get a drink?
I need to speak to Eric. Oh god.
Okay.
It's so weird saying that name constantly.
Yeah, let's go downstairs, you and I. And Reed will try to get Eric away from everything going on.
Okay. Alright, I'll just drag a camera bat downstairs. There we go. And I'll delete all y'all, and then you could just drag yourselves down to the first floor if you are in the scene. That seems to work pretty good. Alright, so these two would have been gone. Old lady is probably here. Radu's up asleep. And the two sisters are probably asleep. And I guess Alenka would follow you guys downstairs. Alright. That works. Alright. Cool. Alright, so Alenka says, well, there he is. The man's like a golem. He never stops working.
You said you have a package for me?
Eric looks at you and says, duh. The old lady left this for you. And he reaches on the counter and he hands you a small clay pot and a folded piece of parchment.
Do you know when she left?
Like 2 hours ago.
Okay. He's just gonna open it up.
The parchment. In lovely old lady handwriting, which is of course, scrolling cursive handwriting, it says, "You are welcome."
He's gonna open the pot?
There seems to be like some sort of like it looks like tallow, like kind of like fat almost, like a milky kind of creamy substance. When you do you give it a sniff or?
Yeah.
It sort of smells like bacon grease.
Is it bacon grease?
I don't know. Is it?
I would have to roll to find out.
I mean, if you have proficiency with alchemist tools, you might be able to kind of get a sense if it is. You need the tools though to check it. Eric says, "Duh." And then he pours you both a cup of the watered down wine.
I'll hand both to Eric.
He downs both.
Our Eric.
Right.
Takes both bottles, downs them both.
Well, I mean, you got cups. They got a wine shortage, so that could give you 2 bottles of wine.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Okay. Alenka says, "All right. Well, now you have what you needed. Now what? You happy?"
No, I'm not. Sorry. I just need time to think. That's all.
All right. Well, you're the customer. And she says, "I'm gonna go for a walk." She heads outside.
Reed will just, hey, Eric, why don't we sit down and just wait for the others? Let them do what they need to do. And you and I can just talk.
I know it was her. It had to be her. She.
I mean, yeah, I don't doubt you, but what can we do about that now? If what you're saying is true, then it's magic, and we don't have anything at our disposal to deal with that. Look, I want to avenge Adrian against Aragol as much as I can, but there's nothing I can do about that either. So I suggest you compartmentalize things. Just put it away in a little box in your head, and when we can deal with it, take it back out again, and we'll deal with it. But until then, we need you, buddy.
Okay.
So here, just sit down with me. Maybe tell me about Matthew, and I'll just kind of pepper him with stories.
It's clear that nobody really wants to hear about Matthew. All right, so we'll head back upstairs. All right. So, what now, guys?
I think Darius, from the comments that Irina kind of told him, is just gonna say, "I do understand. We probably need to slow down. You and your family, I mean, you guys helped us get a roof over our head, fed us, kind of took care of us because we were pretty messed up when we got here. You guys didn't have to do that. Honestly, you could have just ran us out of town and not dealt with us whatsoever. So I thought it was best to at least try and help you guys with your problems as well. But maybe we're going a bit too fast."
She smiles at you and says, "Your help means everything. You people, you helped me when no one else could, and a lot of people are going to survive now because of it. You made me feel hope, because there is no one else who can help, and there is no one else who will help. And knowing that there is at least someone else out there that's willing to take a risk to help others, It means so much to me. And he might not say it, but it means a lot to Ismark as well.
You guys have been dealing with this shit a lot longer than us. We've only been here for 2 days. You guys are pretty tough, not gonna lie.
You have to be tough to grow up here in Barovia. The land punishes the weak.
Well, then, maybe we should focus on getting stronger. And he's just gonna, very weakly, just like kind of punch her in the shoulder.
She playfully punches you back with her 12 strength score.
Take 3 points of damage.
Yeah, it feels it hurts.
Oh
it
no,
hurts. Yeah.
I'm at 1 HP.
Make it 4.
She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. No, your first step towards getting strong is doing nothing. Now, back to bed. Let's go. This way,
Yes,
into
doctor.
the room. Nothing bad's in here. Just a nice bed for you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, how's Matthew doing?
Matthew died.
What the fuck?"
What a
She
approach.
lets go of you, and you fall to the ground. And then
Yep.
she runs over, and she's, "What happened?" "Oh God, his face." Ooh.
Something. We have no idea what happened. And he's just gonna turn to Tiernan and Mackenzie as he crawls into bed.
It is. Let's. I mean, if we're gonna present our finding, let's get everybody in here.
Okay. Who? Oh, right, Reed and that cowardly guy. What's his face? Hey, Reed, Eric, come upstairs, please.
Specify which Eric.
Oh, right. Hey, Big Eric! No one wants you upstairs.
Reed says, I guess that makes you little Eric. Let's go.
As Reed says that, she says, "The other one's little Eric, obviously."
Okay. Who's bleeding all over the floor again?
Darius just looks at you. I have no idea.
Right. Well, then everyone's here.
There we go.
Matthew is
Immersion.
currently possessed. He's spinning around on the bed.
No.
He's taking a drink of water when you said that.
There you go. Immersion.
Eric, it appears what happened is Matthew's heart stopped. As far as we can tell, he was perfectly healthy in almost every way. It seems it just stopped from fear. He was literally scared to death.
This is a joke, right?
You're
You're joking, right?
not unheard of. It's very strange for it to happen to a young man in such good condition, but it's also very strange for a man from our world to be here, where things like what have happened can happen. I'm sorry.
He'll crouch down, hands on his face. Now, strange question. Eric has watched Supernatural. Is there
Okay.
anything he'd know from that show?
Yeah, give me a history check to check your meta knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Are you rolling checks at disadvantage, or would this
That's
be normal?
because my injury,
Oh.
concussion.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Um.
I mean,
I
well,
mean,
then,
it happens all the time in fiction. It happens all the time. People get scared to death all the time. You cannot recall any time in your life that you heard of it actually happening for real. But in stories, in horror stories especially, it happens a lot,
true, but where we're from, that's all fictional. So
right?
we're going to have to take the body out and give him a burial, something. I don't know.
Maybe we can put him with Jack for now.
Irenia says, did something come in last night? You locked your doors, yeah?
Yeah. Wait, Irenia and Eric will go to her.
Hmm?
Do you know Morgantha?
Yes, she's the old woman that sells the pastries. And the meat pies. They smell so good and they look delicious, but Ismark says I was never supposed to have one.
Did he ever tell you why?
He says that they're very addictive, like drugs. He thinks that maybe she's putting drugs in them. Did he
She
eat
ever-
the pastry? Is this what happened? Did he have a bad reaction?
No. Did she ever seem suspicious to you?
I mean, a little bit. Like, it's weird that the old lady is able to travel the roads alone. I always wondered about that. But she thinks it's because she has all these talismans.
Do you know what they look like?
What the talismans look like?
Yeah.
They were like scrimshaw bones and stuff. There were some look like gems, sort of some holy symbols, but nothing that I recognized. My theory is that she is actually a druid. Because the druids, they worship the land, and so they have magic that they get from the land, and the animals and the plants, they listen to the druids, and that's why she's able to travel by herself. That's my theory.
I don't know what to think right now.
Well, you've lost someone very close to you. Hmm?
He was close to someone I care very much about, yes. We weren't that close, but we were still family. Is your brother awake?
Oh, he's getting his things together. He's going to attempt to brave the roads and head to Valakai soon.
Not for a couple more days, though, right?
No, he's going to give it 3 days. He wants to make sure that he has talked it over with my father, and but yes, he will be gone soon.
Reed just looks like he wants to say something more to Irina, but doesn't.
3 days, you say? Mm. And it's Valakai?
Mm-hmm.
Eric will look around the room to everyone.
I think also he said something about going to the Serpools today.
That's where we need to go as well.
He was going to. He wanted to speak with you, Eric, about that card. He wanted to bring it with him so he could ask the Vistani if they had seen Father Donovich, and perhaps return the card to them.
Understandable. I'll go.
Oh, you'll go with him? I'd like to go too.
I mean, we can't leave Darius alone either.
Maybe I could see if he could wait till tomorrow. That will give Darius a chance to rest all day, and we'll do everything we can to try and help him get over this disease.
That would
Good.
be appreciated.
Good.
Okay. Well, there's a lot to do. How would Matthew want to be interred? What are your cultural things? I know we have Jack in the family crypt. If any of you are looking for something to do today, I guess it's first come first serve on the graveyard. We could maybe finally dig Jack a proper grave and one for Matthew as well.
That will be nice.
Okay. I will need to stay here with Darius, but if you hurry, you can catch Ismark before he leaves for Serpool, and tell him that I would like him to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, I can go get Ismark. Talk to him.
I'd like to come to the.
Oh, I bet you'd
the
like to go
graveyard.
get Ismark. Mm-hmm.
Reed will blush at that.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna dig a real deep hole in that graveyard. Mm-hmm.
Irina.
What? I mean, you won't. You could barely pick up a shovel, but you'll be like talking to everyone while they're working hard, so it's kind of like you're helping. It's okay, Reed. Everybody needs an idea, man. All right. She shrugs and she says, "I'll go get some supplies. I'll be back, Darius."
Irina, real quick.
Hmm?
As you're leaving, if you ever come across, Vasily?
All right, Vasily von Holtz.
I'd like to have a conversation with him.
Okay. I will tell him that you want to speak with him if I happen to see him. Where would he be able to find you? Here at the inn?
That's where we'll be staying, yes.
All right. Okay.
Before Reed takes off to go get Ismark, he's going to go and get a rag from the bathroom and drench it in some cold water and put it on Darius's forehead.
Okay. Well, then you run into Irina, who's in the bathroom, also getting such supplies, and then she says to you, "I don't want my brother to go to Valakai alone. I need your help to convince everyone that we should all go with him together.
That's actually my idea too.
If you help me, I will be your wingman to romance my brother. This is the only time I will make this offer to you. Yes or no?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Okay.
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 And I'll just shake my head and get the rag and.
All right. The two of them return, having not had a secret conversation about your fate and your safety. Big smiles as they say, "All right, it's time to cure a disease." Oh, and Darius, I brought more leeches. And she pulls out a jar full of fat, squirming leeches.
Do not leech him.
You don't know how it works! I will
I
show
do
you
know
that.
how medicine works.
You don't know how Barovian medicine works, but I will teach you.
I know
if
that
you-
it works poorly.
It does not. It works great. How else are you going to get the poisoned blood out?
There is no.
No what?
Just no.
This is my patient now.
How much more blood am I gonna lose?
Do you want to fight me, old man? I'll fight for my patient's life. Let's go.
Old man.
Yeah, that's right. What, you're like 30, right? That's super old.
Oh no, I think I am the oldest, aren't I?
Yeah, like I don't feel like I was out of line saying that. I mean, you're pretty old.
I think Jack was maybe older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
I think Tiernan, do you look in the mirror and you think, oh yes, a fresh face of a 20-year-old man? Because it's not what's happening.
30 is not old.
30's pretty old in Barovia.
Well, 30's not old in Earth.
Yeah, sure. All right.
In
If you,
Seattle.
if you promise to be quiet, I will show you how the leeches work.
I don't think the leeches are a good plan.
I have cured many people of the rot. How many have you cured?
Tyrion, I mean, his blood is poisoned, right? I mean, have you dealt with something like this before?
With disease?
I mean, Mackenzie says to Tiernan, we don't have any medical equipment. How are we going to do a blood? How are we going to filter the blood, Tiernan? Tiernan, look at me. Last night, we fought
Look
a
at how much blood this man has
motherfucking
already lost.
vampire. A motherfucking vampire, Tiernan.
He lost so much blood already. Now we're gonna take more blood away from him. That's that.
A reason? No, I'm going to give him my blood.
Yeah, Darius, what blood type are you?
Wait,
But,
what?
but
Blood type? What are you talking about, Reed?
if you give the wrong person the wrong type of blood,
Yeah.
We're both human
die.
beings. Jeez.
it will kill them.
Darius, blood type.
Uh,
I'm O positive. Will that work?
Same here.
fuck if I know.
What are you guys
you don't
talking
know your
about?
blood type?
You've got different types of blood. Poisoned blood and healthy blood. Come on, people. It's basic.
All right. Well, I mean, O positive I can give to anyone unless he's negative.
Oh, positive thing? What are you talking about?
Just, Irina, maybe
Look,
it's best if we take my blood.
All right. I mean, I'm down for that. I don't want to give my blood. Hope we don't give too much. You might deflate, but here we go.
I mean, I have a good constitution.
Sure you do. All right. So, all right, then I guess you are not going to get Eastmark.
Damn.
Someone else.
Wait, who else is O positive? Someone else said it. Yeah. Or
How quickly the
Counterpoint.
volunteer to save Darius's life has been revoked.
Oh.
Okay.
Irina, your brother was dead set on going today.
He's so dead set on everything he does. But don't worry, if somebody tells him that I told him to stay, he will stay. He always does what they tell him.
Well, then, God, I don't want to send someone out alone. Eric and
It's daytime. I don't think Doru will try and grab anyone in the daytime.
maybe Anna and Eric can go get Eastmark.
I'll help you read.
Oh, but I need Reed's blood. He's volunteered. Apparently he has some O positive blood. Whatever the fuck that means. You guys are so weird. Do I just get to make up a letter? Okay, I have IK blood. This is Irenia. This is Irenia Koljanbrand blood.
Have you often given your own blood when you're helping these people with rot?
Mhm.
And have they all been okay?
Well, maybe she has.
Well, she could be.
Yeah, she could be O
O
positive
negative.
as well, or O negative. Yeah, that'd be even better.
Have you ever seen a thing where someone has tried to treat someone else of rot with blood, and then the person it's made them worse, and they've
There
swallowed-
have been cases, yes, where the blood transfusion doesn't work.
But never with your blood.
No.
Okay, well that solves that.
Then.
Okay, so Reed, you're leaving. All right. I guess that's my blood after all. Hey.
Lucky me.
You should be lucky. My blood is amazing. It's IK type. Type IK blood. IK positive. Plus blood.
That would be awful. That
All
would
right,
kill me.
so
Just do the
Definitely kill them.
transfusion, Irina.
yeah, we're working on it. All right, and she starts. She starts, like, the tube, and she's like sucks on the tube to get the blood flowing from her. And she puts it into you. The blood's going in, and then she puts the leeches down by your wounds, and they immediately latch on and release their numbing agents, so you don't feel it. Just a slight tingle, but you know in your heart that a parasite is feasting upon you, and so it still bothers you. Yep. Tiernan, it is horrifying to watch, especially if I feel like Tiernan not a big fan of leeching.
Tyrion, not a fan of ye old medicine.
Don't think most people are a fan of leeching these days.
I collected these leeches myself.
They probably have a head drill if you have a headache.
This one's name is Boris. Do you look at little Boris? Oh, he's ready to help you. And she attaches it to your chest. All right. So what do the rest of you up to?
Eric's going to cover the sheets over
Yeah,
Matthew's
please
body.
do. Okay.
Yep, just put that there. And I don't know.
Dare I say that we end the session with you guys taking a day of downtime? Question mark.
What?
Let's do
A
that.
whole
Obviously,
day
there's
to
downtime
yourselves to
included.
not get fucked up by something? I don't know. I
Yes.
feel like maybe you earned it. I don't.
I don't know.
As long as the downtime includes burying Matthew and Jack and
Yeah, that'll be like your
re-looking
crafting.
around
That'll
the
be your
church.
crafting activity. You're crafting a grate.
All right, I would like to re-look around the church to see if I can find anything now that I've rested a bit. Don't have negatives. Well, don't have as many negatives.
All right. So
since I guess
that is good.
Darius is being treated, you can probably take forensic expert with you.
All right. So when we resume next session, Mackenzie and Tiernan are going to investigate the church. Reed is going to watch Eastmark with no shirt dig 2 graves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Anna, what are you going to be up to? I mean, you have until next week to decide, but
Probably go with Reed.
okay, fair enough. I mean, Eastmark is going to be shirtless digging 2 graves, so I mean, you could help too if you want to. Oh yeah, because for Jack to have a nice grave for Jack. All right. Whew. Here, I'll put Matthew over here for no reason in particular. There we go. All right.
And what's Eric do?
Yeah, what's Eric gonna do? Just so we kind of have an idea of what. End with something super cool and dramatic, Eric. So we have something to look forward to next week.
I guess at this point he's going to do exactly what Reed suggested: compartmentalize everything, put it under lock and key, throw it away. Don't even bother looking back at it. And he's going to look for the general shop?
Oh, okay. Go check out Bildrath. All right.
Yes. Right now he wants to prep and be equipped and just take his mind off of something.
I thought he'd be like looking into real estate because he doesn't want to have to go back to Earth and deal with Matthew's mom.
Yeah, deal with his sister. I don't know your sister, but I don't want to be the
More
woman.
frightening
Yeah.
than vampire.
He done.
Okay. And Izzy, assuming that you don't need her to come with you, Tiernan will stay and help Irina with Darius with whatever.
That's perfect.
Okay, great. Well, you made it through another session. Okay. Quick announcements. Tonight's Mythic Odyssey continues. No one knows for sure what they're gonna do. We'll just take it day by day now. There's no predictions. There's no script. We're just floating along on our Odyssey, the most authentic Odyssey of all time. We literally just sail around in the boats.
So they've decided to fuck it. We're doing it live.
Tomorrow night we've got Odyssey Prime, level 18, high level adventures continue. And then Tuesday, Cyberpunk Red continues with Dom, and Pathfinder 2E, the Abomination Vaults continue. We are up to 4 players. It's 4 people that have all played D&D together a few times, but never all together as players at the same time. We got a really cool DM who's helping us learn the system, and we have room for 1 more person. If you'd like to jump on board for some Pathfinder 2 dungeon crawling goodness. Wednesday will be the final session of Monster Hunter. I am not looking forward to it. Didn't leave off in a very nice place from me. I got 2 failed death saving throws. I'm at the foot of the monster after collapsing the ceiling on top of myself and the monster. So it's not great. Suboptimal situation. Thursday, Curse of Strahd Nightfall continues. If only you knew what was happening to them. And then Friday,
That sounds great.
Orpheus's Rime of the Frostbane game continues. Dom and I will actually have a vodcast this coming Friday. We didn't have one this past Friday because I wore out my voice doing lecturing and stuff for my day job, and we really didn't have anything too important to talk about. But we will be talking about the OGL being added to Creative Commons and how impactful that is and what that means and all that. Obviously, the news story has broken and a million other people will have talked about it, but it is a very interesting thing that has happened related to the hobby, so we at least want to kind of weigh in on it and discuss, like what's happening. So for people that are too busy to follow every possible thing, you might join in with us and learn well after the fact what happened and why it happened and what that means for the future of the game. Saturday, Red Hand of Doom continues, and then Sunday morning we'll be back here. Oh, also, I guess this Saturday night there'll be more Solasta, so we'll be continuing our blind co-op playthrough of Solasta. Well, it's not really blind for Leia, but it's blind for everybody else. Anyways, any other announcements? Do we have anything to announce before we adjourn? No?
I got none.
Okay. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday, has a safe and healthy week, and definitely use the Discord to discuss possible downtime activities, what you want to do moving forward, and maybe plan out a medical recovery plan for your character. That's apparently something that we have to start thinking about. All right, cool.
AKA sitting my ass in bed.
All right.
While you guys are doing that, I'll be making headway.
Well, see you guys later. I gotta go get some lunch. Goodbye.
Same here. All right, thanks, Ryan.
Bye, everyone.
And thanks for tuning
Same.
in. Catch you next time.